This is real breaking news now. Supreme Court affirms David Mark as ADC national chairman. Hey, power pass power, I tell you. See, Nafi Bala, APC was using Nafi Bala to distort ADC's program. Somebody that has resigned as the ADC national chairman, and even under the new leadership, everybody witnessed it. Because they gave him some stipend, he came back again to claim that he's the chairman of the ADC. Now, Supreme Court has ruled, and this is the final judgment. So nobody is going to come and drag again. David Mark is now the legitimate chairman of ADC, African Democratic Congress. So going forward now, they can now do whatever they want to do. I think they have done their Congress, and everything is now going to move forward. The only thing is who is going to step down for who for the election coming. That is just the only thing. Okay. So now the Supreme Court has affirmed David Mark as the national chairman of the African Democratic Congress, ADC. The Apex Court gave the judgment on Thursday in one of the landmark rulings that will shape the 2027 general election. So the Apex Court, in an unanimous decision by a 5-member panel headed by Justice Mohammed Lawal Garba, held that the Abuja division of the Court of Appeal acted beyond its jurisdiction by unilaterally issuing an order after it had already dismissed a case that was brought before it by one of the factions. Exactly. Because they chop money now, somebody has gone behind to pay them. So now they think they can do undo. Now Supreme Court has overruled their judgment. Okay. So the directive of the Court of Appeal to maintain status quo ante bellum is a preservatory order wrongly made in this case, the Supreme Court said in the judgment. So it held that the appeal that was filed before it by David Mark succeeded in part, even as it dismissed the aspect that challenged an ex parte order the Federal High Court made for service of processes in the suit filed by aggrieved members of the party. So the Apex Court directed the factions to return to the trial court for continuation of hearing of the case. Can you imagine? So mean that going back again to the Federal High Court now. So as it is today, David Mark is still the chairman of the party until further notice. So Daily Post reports that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, had earlier de-recognized the executives of the ADC led by David Mark, citing a court judgment by the Court of Appeal. But now they have to reverse that judgment. So what is happening now is that the appeal court judgment was what was challenged at the Supreme Court, where the appeal court said that everybody should remain status quo, and made and also de-recognized David Mark as the new chairman. And it's because Nafi Bala is fighting to come back as the chairman of the party. But does that make sense? You have resigned, you have left, and now because I don't know what you are giving, you are not coming to fight the party again to say you are the chairman. How are you the chairman? When the documents have been presented show that you officially resigned, you left the party, and somebody else took over. You were in the handover ceremony, and the documents signed by you. So at what point did you miss it that you are not coming back to say you are still the chairman of the party? He was doing that because he must have been sorted by some other oppositions to go and scatter the party, like Tinubu and Gbadebo Bamila have been telling their members, you should go and scatter the party. Go and scatter them. And we know that he was referring to ADC. So now that David Mark is still the chairman of the party, activities can move on towards preparations for the 2027 general election. So it's a very good one for them. And I know that they can settle themselves. The only wahala in that ADC now is who is going to get the ticket for the presidency or presidential election, because Atiku is not ready to step down. Obi is not going to step down. So who is going to support who now? That is the question. Atiku, we don't know who is going to take as running mate for now. Obi has already taken Kokwanso as his running mate. Already, people are saying it, including Fayose has said it, that the whole ADC is the only formidable party that can send Tinubu packing back to Lagos by 2027. But the only problem they have is if Atiku goes, then it is a dead plan on arrival. But if they know what is good for them, they should allow Obi to be the running mate, to be the presidential candidate with Kokwanso as the running mate. In that case, the party can fight hard to get Tinubu out of the office, and then Obi can continue. But the problem we have is still that Atiku is not ready to back down. And he has to back down because he knows that, first of all, this is not the turn of the North. And if he goes there, he's only just spoiling things for the ADC and probably spoiling things in favor of APC. And those are the things that people look at. They say this man might be working for APC because he knows the truth that if he goes, he's not going to win. Nobody will vote them because the presidency is currently in the South and will have to complete in the South. So until then, he's not going to rotate back to the North. So what is Atiku looking for? That's the question. If not that, it's not that it's a game spoiler. Because in truth be told, he's a game spoiler. So all those ones that what is his name? Daily Momodu is coming out to say that all the obedience and everybody should respect Atiku because Atiku had given Obi a running mate chance in 2019. All those ones are stories. All those ones are stories. That is the truth. All those are stories. Atiku should go and rest. Let Obi go. Obi will do it for 4 years and then hand over back to Adaku Council or someone else in the north to continue the northern round of it. So now with this judgment now, I know that the party will be stronger with David Mark as a chairman because David Mark has a better national clout than Nafi Bala. Who know Nafi Bala? What can he do? And all of them are tapping on Obi's glory because the same thing, before Obi went to Labour Party in 2023, Labour Party was almost dead. Nobody was hearing about the Labour Party. Okay? Nobody was hearing about Labour Party. Aburi was just there like a laborer. Nobody knows what was happening. Until Obi went there and then the party started booming. Now Obi has left there. The party is almost dead now. Back to ADC. ADC is booming. And that was why all of them in ADC were looking for Obi like anything because they know that Obi will come with life. So let's see how they will prepare with this judgment. And now that they have been asked to go back to the trial court, which is the Federal High Court, they will see exactly what is going to come out of the whole process. We know that matter is almost dead on arrival. So thank you for listening. Let's have a comment over this victory that ADC has secured at the Supreme Court.